Now that we're in the phase of finishing up small detail work in the kitchen, we're starting to focus on the outside. So this is the enclosure that we put around the porch to keep the tools and the materials safe and sound and dry. Steve still has some scaffolding and sawhorses and a chop saw right there. On this end of the driveway is the trailer. This is what we use to do dump runs and such. And I put it on jack stands and put a box on top of it so we could have easy access to get that vent hood in and start putting the molding around that garden window. So this trailer is going to get moved out of here. What I'm currently doing is I'm getting ready to clean up the side of the house where the shingle is going to go. This is the exhaust fan hood that Steve put in this weekend. This services the oven and the microwave, and it's mounted on PVC wood. And the last remaining item to do is put some caulking around the edges to seal that up against the house, and this is a done deal. What I'm working on currently is I'm cleaning up the bottom of the shingles here on this wall. This is the wall we're going to be working on. If you look down further, you can see that there's some debris and dirt on the shingles, so I'm cleaning that all up so we can determine whether he's got a good shingle or not to weave in the shingles that are going to go in over this house wrap right here. This is the white stuff. It's a weather guard, and this is the part of the wall that we bumped out from the kitchen out onto the porch. So he's going to be filling this in with shingles, and he needs to weave it in with the ones we have and replace anything that looks like it needs to be replaced. So I'm just cleaning up all along this edge to make sure everything's good to go for him so he can make that determination. And that way when we're ready to paint, this top portion will already be cleaned. So I don't want to try and clean this with fresh shingles underneath and drip dirty water on it or any chemicals. So that's my plan. Okay, that's all cleaned up. What I was doing is just this top course of shingles. We had a blast shield. We have one on this side. If you can see that brown tarp running along the length of the soffit. What happens when we get a snowstorm is we untie those ropes and just drop it down. So it's like a cover for the porch. And we had one on this side, and it had collect up a lot of leaves and gunk and just discolored all the shingles. So with Steve gonna weave in the new shingles in this area where it's got the house wrap, I wanted to have that already cleaned up. So when he weaves it all in, he's weaving it into nice clean material. Because once that's done, I don't want to have to clean anything above it and drip any water or chemicals or dust back on the new shingles. I want to just be able to paint and get it all zipped up. So that's the area that I was working on, and this will be where the house wrap is. That's how far we bumped out onto the porch. So if you look at the overall size of the porch here, we took about half the porch, a little less than that, because there's a little overlap on that wrap. So that's the area that's going to get shingled, and we're going to take all this plywood off and get the screen windows back opened up to the fresh air. And we'll also put some handrails on them steps and take out these old cement steps. I have what's called feather chisels. It's the tools that you use to split granite blocks down the middle. So I got some tools to take care of that, because that's too heavy to move by myself. I'll break it into smaller pieces. Then we'll put this border back on all the way across and get some nice planting in here. And that'll look, button it up, make it look nice and pretty.